We got called on that one night. We was on the side of the Euphrates River. We was going across the bank on the side of it. We took a sharp right turn. I seen heads and I seen bodies laying separated, you know, decapitated. And I was thinking, we was all shocked, you know, and the American soldiers were in amongst them saying we lost it. As soon as I turned around and stepped out, I seen 2 American soldiers kicking the head around like a soccer ball. So that's when I just stepped back inside my tank and I said, I ain't gonna have no part of this. I was told I would never have to go to war, and he thinks I had too many children. Of course, that sounds stupid now, but at the time, you take it. When I first got to my basic training, that's when I was told that my job would switch from being a bridge builder to fit the military's needs, so I got changed to explosives and landmine expert. From there, basically, we learned how to kill.
You know, we were being incorporated into this big green machine, they called it. You're now part of the big green machine. And when we're through with you, you're all going to be killers, every one of you. Some of you guys have never been in a fight before in your life. When we're finished with you, you'll be pissed off enough to kill somebody. Don't worry.
I got my orders to go to Iraq on April 1st of 2003. That's when they said, okay, you're going. We were in Ramadi for about a month the first time I was there, and then we went to Fallujah. It was more of a display in Fallujah of martial law, and we're here to destroy. I mean, you know, that's what it was pretty well invoked in us. You know, you're coming to Fallujah, it's time to kill.
And they called anger having a case of the ass, and they would say, now that you got a serious case of the ass, pretty soon we're going to turn you loose in Vietnam, and we'll give you all the ammunition you want, and you can take it out on someone. And you get to take it out on Charlie. Or he take it out on you.
We had our first incident there with the traffic control point, is where it's like we would put up, you have tanks, and we'd make the cars like do an S through the tanks. Once they get to the front, you'd pull them out, check their vehicles for any contraband, weapons, anything of such. Our operating procedure was, when them vehicles came to that checkpoint, if they did not stop when being told to stop, then you light the vehicle up, which means you kill everything inside the vehicle. Well, that was our first incident where we did that because that's what we're told to do. But yet the outcome of it was a father and a child. The father was completely dead. We had to wrap his son up and take him to the hospital as fast as possible. No contraband was found in there, no weapons, no nothing. Basically because they didn't know what the word stop meant.
I don't know if I knew anyone who believed that it was a correct and right and righteous thing to do, to be in Vietnam fighting so-called communists. We were all kind of aware that really they were rice farmers.
We had an incident where we was in a firefight and 3 of my good friends got their legs blown off. And I think that's when it hit us all hard for why in the hell are we here and what are we doing here? You know, now it's just not the innocent people of Iraq dying, but yet it's our friends for what? You know, what's the cause of all of this?
Every time I went home on leave, people were more and more radically opposed to the war, including many of my close friends. One friend even went so far as to say, look, that's great that you're airborne. What fun. You get to parachute out of planes. But for my part, I want you to know this. If you get hurt in Vietnam, I feel you've deserved it. If you get killed in Vietnam, you'd had it coming to you, because you know perfectly well that the whole thing is a mistake and that it's wrong, and you're doing it anyway. So don't expect any friendly letters from me, pal.
Basically, we was all pissed, to tell you the truth. You know, I'm still pissed about it because the fact that our president put us in a situation where we all could die at any time. And, you know, I knew that this is crazy. You know, first of all, I've been sitting here for 8 months, been at war for reasons I don't know why. So I went home, and you know, when I landed, I just sort of told my wife a few of the things and told her I won't go back. I mean, you know, if it's all right with you, I'm not going back and participating in it no longer. Did I know what to do? No. I mean, you know, I called the military lawyers, your JAG office. I asked them, I said, I already got nightmares. I've already seen enough. You know, is there any way you could just put me on a job on base? You know, he goes, well, you only got 2 options. You either get back on the plane and go to Iraq, or you go to prison.
Of course, gentlemen, you do have a choice. They would constantly say that. And the choice was you go along with the program or you go to jail.
You know, I thought every day, well, should I just go to prison for this, or do I have to find another way? I could never bring myself to go to prison for something that I did right.
I was kind of like, well, what did I do? I got drafted, you know, what are my choices? And my buddy in Canada said, your choice is clear. Leave the country. You know, desert. That's the only honorable thing to do. Otherwise, you're risking your life as a fool, minimally, and at worst, a villain. If the government, if Big Brother could be cynical and hard-assed and opportunistic, so could I. And I would fight back with the only weapons I had, and that would be my guile and my stealth. And sneak away and not serve. And take all that hard-earned money that they put into training me to be an infantryman and to fire a machine gun and to parachute out of planes and tell them to quietly just to shove it up their backside, and they could eat it.
We ended up in Philadelphia. From that time, we lived underground there basically for 14 months. We moved from hotel to hotel every 30 days. You don't want to stay in one place too long. And you live in the constant shadows. I mean, you know, it's a, military taught me how to do it, I always say. I was really worried, and mainly worried about the part if they was going to have an American checkpoint before we got to the border, and that's the part that scared me the most. But like if there would have been an American checkpoint, I would have had to run for it. I'd had to swim, whatever scenario would have happened. But it wouldn't be that easy with them.
As soon as I crossed the border into Canada, both my parents were supportive, and I was very lucky in that respect because I had friends whose parents disowned them, who didn't speak to them for 8 years. They didn't speak to them until Watergate happened, and then there was a reconciliation.
You know, most of us as well, you know, 95% of the guys I served with, we were all there for the same reasons. Very poor economy, can't make a living, can't do it, and that it seems like your only alternative. But I tell them, don't listen to the lies and keep looking, there's something else out there for you. Dude, I'm just a totally different person from the time I left the war and came back. I mean, the United States will have to deal with that problem because they're going to have over 200,000 of us sitting here back like this. I mean, you know, you can't just have us do things like that and expect for everybody to come back and be a normal person. It just don't work like that.